Well, as always, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up for our press conference here. It's it's good for us to be back on the football field. Last week was very tough on us, and we're very thoughtful of all the families in Eastern North Carolina that are going through the weather stuff. But it kind of put us in a situation we didn't know what to do. But fortunately we were able to get our guys home and make sure that everybody was safe, and we were able to get everybody back here on Sunday so that we can resume the week. Looking forward to going down to South Carolina to play a tough South Carolina State football team. This is Coach Pugh's last season, so obviously I know his kids want to play as well as they possibly can play for him. They've played two BCS games, or two 1A games, I should say, and they hadn't fared too well in those games, but obviously you can see the talent that they have, and when the competition is more relative, we expect them to be better. So it'll be a tough battle, but as I said, we're looking forward to getting on the bus and going down to South Carolina and be ready to play. Well, we obviously, we were in the eye of the storm initially, so we practiced on Sunday. We're off. Monday's our normal off day, so we worked, normally on Monday to game plan to get ready for Liberty. And as school started to close on Monday, the athletic director and I got together, and ultimately the decision was made to cancel the game. And then we followed the protocol that the school set forth, and we sent our young men home because we didn't know what was going to happen. And I guess our thought process was better safe than sorry. Safety's the paramount goal when it comes to our guys. So we let everybody go home Tuesday morning after the announcement was made that the game was postponed, and then we got back together on Sunday. Well, you worry about a little bit of rust, you worry about a little bit of time off, but it's also good for us. We're more healthy than we were, coming out of the James Madison game. So we've kind of, stuck to our normal approach. We did get out and do a little bit more on Sunday than we would have normally done, but yesterday was a normal Tuesday practice, and today will be a normal Wednesday practice, and we'll finish up tomorrow in preparation for Saturday.
They run a lot of inside zone, and for us to stop the run, we just got to line up and play our gaps and play our keys. And South Carolina, they're not a bad team. They're a well-respected opponent. They line up and they just play, hey, we're going to beat you guys while just running these three plays. So we just have to be focused and stick to our keys and play our game. The quarterback is really athletic. He's their biggest playmaker. He has most of their rushing yards, and in all honesty, they just want to give him the ball. So that's what we have to focus on.
They go a lot of zone coverage, so we'll be able to get back to things we are good at, what we normally work on like all summer. So I feel like that'll be good. Really just follow the rules, really just run your routes, stick to what you know, stick to what we work on during the week.
Well, as I said, Coach Pugh's one of the most respected football coaches in all SCF football, definitely HBCU football, and his teams are going to be tough. They're going to be physical. They're going to be prideful. I looked at his media stuff yesterday, and he said, hey, we're 0-2, we need a win. And so I know that his kids are going to be excited to play because they did have some kids who are unfortunately affected by the weather. So I think there's a lot of pride, in his team, and there's a lot of pride in their community, and they usually draw pretty well. So this is their first home game, so we're looking for an electric atmosphere. So we need to go down there and be ready to play. But as I said, Coach Pugh's guys are going to be well coached. They're going to be ready to play. Well, we hope to be able to go down and get our run game established. Obviously, we're trying to do the best we can to get the run game established, and we'll, make the throws that we need to make to try to exploit what they're doing on defense. As I said, as Chuma said, they're a mostly zone football team, which is something that we hadn't faced much of this year. So it's a little bit of a change for us. But our offense starts with our offensive line, so we'll do whatever those guys allow us to do. They're both available, so we'll kind of sort it out as we may. Obviously, Pooty started game one, DeAndre started game two, and they're both available, and we hadn't really made a decision on that yet. He's been fine. He made a mistake, and he made it his job to help DeAndre prepare for James Madison. As I've said plenty of times, those guys have those guys have a great relationship, and it makes the quarterback room that much more fun. But he realizes that he made a mistake, and I think he's addressed his teammates in private. And he's a very prideful kid. He was embarrassed by it, but as you have to do, I mean, with anything else, we've moved on from it.
What I most like about us is that we have a grit to ourselves. We play fast and physical, and we get to the ball, and we always chase into the ball. And I like how a lot of for example, Nigel Chavis, he plays really well. He's a great linebacker on the outside. So is Tyree. So our core is just really sitting nice right now.
Dale obviously came to us, a year ago, and he's had a tremendous impact on our defense and our locker room. Big personality. Never seen him down. Which is what you need on a football team. But he's able to kind of channel his comedic routine when it comes to playing football. He's serious about football. He's a guy that loves football, and it's been very positive for us. So we're definitely better having him here. And Chuma's kind of what you see, what you get. Chuma's one of my favorite players on the team because he's a self-made guy. He was a non-scholarship guy or a partial scholarship guy when he came here. He earned a scholarship, and he's made plays ever since. I think he's probably leading our team in receiving right now, which is not a shock to me because he works his tail off. It's nothing for us to go into the gym at 10 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock in the morning to see Chuma catching balls off the jugs machine. So, I always tell guys he's a self-made guy. He's humble. He's hardworking. Both of these guys are keys to our success, and they do a good job of helping to manage their teammates and manage the locker room. And we've never had a single off-the-field issue with either one of these guys. So I'm proud of them for that. No, we prepare ourselves to kind of be who we are, and we tell our team, hey, let us worry about those problems and don't let this thing be a distraction because it's. We can't do anything about 95 being closed. We've just got to find the best route that'll get us there the safest and the quickest way we possibly can. I don't really know. I know that I know that we're healthy, and I know that we have played one game. It's almost like you're almost in a similar situation as you were in coming out of training camp. You don't really know how good you are. I think we beat a quality Division II team, but it's not a Division I football team. We had a rough quarter against one of the top two teams in FCS football. So I think Saturday really gives us the opportunity to kind of see where we are. And I think if we do what we're supposed to do, we have an opportunity to come out successful. Well, I still say, James Madison's one of the best teams you're going to see, period. I think they're one of the top three teams in the state of Virginia, right now at any level. But I think, in order to beat anybody, you can't make the mistakes that we made. Their first touchdown, zone read, the person who had the quarterback didn't take the quarterback. The second series, we did get a stop, and we jumped off sides, and we got another stop. So you're very proud of those guys for that. And special teams, we gave up a long touchdown return, which is uncharacteristic of us. I think it's the first time that's happened since we've been here, and it's just a result of poor coverage. But again, we're talking about mistakes, and people took advantage of those mistakes. So I do think we're better, but we're not nearly where we need to be. And if we want to beat good programs like South Carolina State, you can't give up punt returns for touchdowns. You can't not take the quarterback on zone reading. You've got to get first downs on offense. So we do still have a ways to go. We'd be national champions if we could eliminate those mistakes. But I think the thought process that we have as a staff and as a program is that you get better, you get better week in, week out, and we really work to eliminate the mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen, but if we can limit the mental mistakes, and physical mistakes are going to come, and they're going to be physical matchups that we don't win on certain plays. But I think trying to eliminate those mental mistakes is something that we really need to make happen. South Carolina State's always big and strong and athletic. I look at it right now. Since I've been here, they've got a tight end that's playing in the NFL. They've got a defensive lineman that's playing in the NFL. They've got obviously Darius Leonard, who's starting in the NFL right now. So they've always got good players. Anytime you look at Buddy's defensive linemen, they're big, they're strong, they're athletic. They've got an offensive lineman that's been there probably since I've been here. And he's a big, long, athletic guy that's tough to get around. So South Carolina's a great football state. They're in a great football region. Have the ability to recruit North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So they're always going to have players, and they're always going to have good athletes. But I think we have some too, and I think hopefully we're better in certain spots than they are, and usually that's what matters in football games. you.